What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and Trump got on. Trump literally called Kamala Harris mentally impaired yesterday, and the media is having an absolute meltdown. He also attended a jam-packed college football game on the same day that Tim Walz did, and got very different reactions. In fact, the mainstream media had such a meltdown that the crowd was going so berserk for Trump that they cut away from it. Now ABC is getting blasted for it. If you'll remember, ABC hates Trump, and well, just about every network does. And they couldn't stand that he was having a wildly positive interaction. It's all hilarious to me. Let's get into all of the news here. Donald Trump hurls worst slur yet at Kamala Harris as November election approaches. The former president insulted Harris as he ranted about her illegal border crossings, describing her as mentally impaired. I don't disagree. I think Kamala Harris is mentally impaired. Like, I absolutely, positively think that Kamala Harris is a moron. Like, she's not like I made a bad decision thing. She's like actually stupid, like extremely stupid. And I don't know how she got to where she got, but she did. So Trump said Kamala's mentally impaired. If a Republican did what she did, that Republican would be impeached or removed from office, and rightfully so, for high crimes and misdemeanors, Trump said. Trump claimed the Democratic nominee was responsible for migrants who have come into the country illegally and committed crimes. Big true. Think of it, 13,099 convicted murderers. They're all in our country now, and I've been saying it for 3 years. She lets in gang members, dealers, predators, traffickers. Joe Biden became mentally impaired. Kamala was born that way. Zing! She was born, and if you think that about a mentally disabled person could have allowed this to happen to our country. Then she goes on her border tour wearing a Tiffany's necklace, and people absolutely roasted her for that. Trump has called Harris crazy, nuts, dumb as a rock, and complained that the Jamaican Indian vice president previously downplayed her black heritage. Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at this, if you look at, let's see if there's any articles even about it. Kamala border. You know, she's been the vice president for 4 years. And that's it. Now she finally goes. Did she think people, hate, this is going to work out? She says Kamala Harris's border visit was career ending for her. Career ending. I mean, it completely backfired. By the way, if she's pushing for tougher restrictions on the border, how is that gonna, how's that gonna play? Kamala Harris in rare border visit. That's from the BBC. I mean, Kamala Harris, tough on migration, pitch at border. No, Republicans call Kamala Harris a failed border czar. Harris flip-flops on building a border wall. She doesn't have any idea what she wants to do. She doesn't have any idea, what she wants to do. Meanwhile, right now, Trump narrows Harris's small lead in battleground states. We saw in the Atlas polls over the weekend that Trump leads in many of the battleground states. That said, I mean, who can say, right? Like, polling data, I mean, Atlas was the most accurate in 2020, but I don't really care because you just have to vote, and you have to vote hard, and you have to find a friend to go vote. By the way, happening now in Tuscaloosa, President Trump shown on the Jumbotron. Now let's see what happened to Tampon Tim when he was at the game.
Trump 2024, baby!
He flips a guy off for saying Trump 2024, okay? Here is, you see Trump receives massive support at Alabama-Georgia game. Now, Alabama was probably always going to vote for Trump, but Georgia he needs. Happening now at Tuscaloosa, President Trump shown on the Jumbotron. Listen to the crowd. Look at the crowd. They start chanting USA, USA. Again, in real life, Americans love Donald Trump. Trump gets cheers at the Alabama-Georgia game. Walz gets booed at the Michigan-Minnesota game. Is anyone surprised? Epic, this is the people's president. Then if you go and look at this clip here, happening now, President Trump arrives at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa for the Alabama-Georgia football game. USA! USA! Look at, I mean, he's like do you think Kamala Harris would have people, like women, screaming like that? See, now he's got Secret Service on their toes. Yeah. Tossing out popcorn. Walk right up to the crowd. Oh, he wanted to give it to the white chick. Yeah, the little girl. Yeah. Look at, I mean, the guy just knows how to work a crowd. Yeah. They're going berserk for him. I don't think they care about the free popcorn, although it's probably $20 under Bidenomics. Do they sound like they don't love this guy? Look at them packed like sardines. People just want to shake his hand. Dang, a lot of good-looking girls there, too. Shaking hands. I mean, I'm no mathematician, but I'm not bad at math. Can someone please explain? Like, here's a different clip. I can't play that because there's music. Again, compare Trump's warm welcome here to Tim Walz getting ran out of Michigan. Now they're probably more annoyed that Tim Walz is like, yeah. Now these could just be people that wanted to actually go to the game, you know, and like now Secret Service has shut it down so Tim Walz can, you know, get his whatever, his photo op. But I mean, yeah, I remember this football game. What's this? Yeah, I mean, get your popcorn here. Look who came along for the popcorn. Hey, John Daly and Kid Rock. Trump's the president, you know, the people's president. Then you see this. Look at Donald Trump's extreme protective measures to visit the fans at Alabama-Georgia game. Trump brought the house down when he appeared at the highly anticipated University of Alabama versus University of Georgia college football game. In the luxury glass-laden suite, former president was joined by Herschel Walker, Kid Rock, Hank Williams Jr., and more. Protective barriers are the new staple at his public events following multiple attempts on his life. The Alabama Crimson Tide's critical showdown. Don't care about college football. Sorry, guys. Videos of him arriving in the arena show Trump throwing food to adoring fans who chant 4 more years. Then the fans transition into USA chants while the former president poses for pictures, distributes handshakes. The arena was a cauldron of football and mega passion when Trump made his appearance in Bryant-Denny Stadium to a capacity north of 100,000 people. Now, I'm pretty sure Michigan Stadium's pretty big too. But waving and donning his typical blue suit and red tie combo, being strategic. You know, the Trump was invited in the game, Alabama. I mean, absolutely love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. All-time selfie with my boys. Here's Margot Martin, President Trump, Kid Rock, Hank Williams Jr. I think it's safe to assume Donald Trump will be in the box with the bulletproof glass. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. I mean, absolutely bonkers, right? The crowd goes bonkers, berserk. Happy to see him. Now, again, Alabama, I mean, Georgia isn't necessarily hard red, right? But then you see this ABC accused of plotting against Donald Trump at Alabama versus Georgia game. ABC has been accused of deliberately limiting coverage of the Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump at a high-profile college football game. Well, duh. If it was Taylor Swift, they would have been talking about it absolutely nonstop. The former president's social media users took to X to blast ABC, claiming the network deliberately avoided showing Trump and only put him on the screen for 6 seconds. Critics claim the network showed complete bias and that other footage online was damning for ABC. Among the scenes ABC failed to air was a coverage of Trump receiving a triumphant hero's welcome with tens of thousands of cheering former president as he appeared on the big screen in the stadium. Other footage shows Republican candidate arriving to a wild reception from college kids as he tossed boxes of popcorn and waved to the crowds. Pointing out the differences in coverage, one viewer said ABC does not cover President Trump. He was at the Alabama-Georgia game, but they showed him for 6 seconds. If you want more coverage, go to somebody on X. It's ridiculous that Disney-owned ABC is barely showing Trump at the game. One super fast camera shot, almost no mentions, complete bias. Some users drew comparisons of coverage of Taylor Swift's. Good old ABC only showed President Trump once. If Taylor Swift had been there, every other scan of the crowd would have started with her, a man for all of Americans. Look, there's 100,000 people at that game that are going to go tell 400,000 people about how the crowd erupted for Donald Trump. I don't care about ABC not showing him on the jumbo or showing coverage of him. I want him to win Georgia. I mean, he's probably going to win Alabama, obviously, but I want him to win Georgia. ABC, absolutely cowardly. I'd love to see him show up at a few more events like this. He's got to be really strategic over the next 30 days, though, given just how, it's 32 days, 31 days till the election at this point. So it's going to be interesting to see, but it's always funny to see the difference between the two. Now, I don't know if the crowd erupted for Tim Walz in Michigan. I doubt it. Because why can I say that so confidently? Well, because where's the video? You know, Kamala, let's see, Tim Walz, Michigan, right? Tim Walz shows up. All the only clips were, look at, you would think that Kamala Harris would be sharing clips, Kamala HQ would be sharing clips. Not one single clip of the crowd erupting in support of Tim Walz. Only selfies. You see Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota. Tim Walz went to Michigan versus Minnesota. Tim Walz rooted for Michigan. I mean, not a single, here he is flipping somebody off. Again, where's the big crowd erupting in support of him? Non-existent. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.